That winter was colder than any winter before. Sharp winds scraped against the roof, making the wooden boards creak as if the old house were sighing with exhaustion. Inside a dim little room, Un sat beside his mother's bed, where her warmth was slowly slipping away from this world. Un had always said he would learn to draw. He would draw beautifully. He would draw something special for his mother. But year after year, the thing he mastered best was promising tomorrow. Mother's hands had grown so thin that when Un held them, he felt as though he were holding a brittle twig, ready to break. Outside the window, on an almost bare almond tree, there clung one last leaf, fragile, trembling, fighting the wind for just a little more time.
Even when things seem difficult, remember that new growth will always come, just like that leaf waiting for spring.
Mother stared at the leaf for a long while, then turned to Un. Her eyes, clouded by illness, yet overflowing with love, met his. Un, look at that leaf. It's just like your dream, fragile, uncertain, and it can fall at any moment. Un lowered his head. He knew she wasn't just talking about the leaf. She was talking about him, about the future he never dared to begin. Mother's voice grew softer, like a fading whisper. Don't wait for tomorrow. Some things, once lost, never come back. A tear slid from her eye onto Un's small hand, warm, heavy, and painfully real. That night, the wind howled violently. The whole house shook, as if it might crumble under the weight of the storm. Un woke to the sound of his mother coughing, weak, trembling, barely holding on. He rushed to the window. The last leaf was gone. It wasn't on the branch. It wasn't on the ground. It was simply nowhere. Un gripped the window frame, heart twisting painfully inside his chest. Mother watched him quietly, then whispered through broken breaths, "You see, some things, when they go, they're gone forever." Un collapsed beside her bed, crying so hard his voice dissolved into sobs. He buried his face in her frail hand and choked out, "Mom, I'll draw. I promise. Tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow." But Mother gently shook her head. Her voice was a faint crack in the wind. "Not tomorrow, my child. It has to be today. But I don't have enough today left." It was the sentence Un would carry for the rest of his life.
The next morning, the sun rose as usual, but for Anne, the world had gone dark. Mother passed away with her hand still holding his, as if she had been trying to keep something from slipping away. By the bed, on a small wooden table, sat a box of colored pencils she had saved up to buy for him long ago. He had never used them, not once. When Anne touched the box, it was ice cold. Cold like the emptiness that settled in his chest that day.
That afternoon, Un sat outside the house with a blank sheet of paper. The wind still blew through the forest, but this time, the wind carried loss. What did Un draw first? Not the leaf, not a portrait for his mother. He drew the moment he realized she no longer had enough today. Tears spilled onto the page, onto the lines, onto his trembling fingers. But he kept drawing because drawing was the only way left to hold on to her, even for a moment. Anne grew up to become an artist admired by thousands. Every painting he created carried a shadow of that last leaf from long ago. In his studio, he hung his very first drawing, the tear-stained, uneven, messy sketch of a boy who had lost too much too soon. One of his students once asked, "Teacher, why do you hang your ugliest drawing in the most important place? It's not even finished." Anne smiled, his eyes drifting far away, toward a winter he could never forget.
Look closely at the shading around the eyes. The sorrow is evident in the brushstrokes themselves. That is what you must capture.
Because it reminds me, some people we love will never have another tomorrow. Some promises, if not kept today, become wounds that never heal. And some leaves fall only to wake us up from the procrastination that ruins our lives. Then he added a line that made the student fall silent. "The day my mother died was the day I learned that there is no day more precious than today, and nothing hurts more than realizing you're too late."
If a story touched your heart, let it light another soul.